Today we have the Steelo ContourX. Both of these are 11.5 inches. This is a Wilson A2K 1786. We'll be seeing more of it in a second. This glove here, first of all, I mean, it looks pretty sick, so that's a good thing. But this thing actually weighs 1 pound, 3.2 ounces. That is like 2 full ounces lighter than your average infield glove. That is a huge plus. This is Steerhide leather. It costs $360 whopping dollars, but it's got this like Asian bowl, Japanese bowl-like effect. It is extremely deep. I'm not saying that's good or bad. We'll talk about that in a little bit. By far, my biggest concern is that the inserts on these gloves feel like plastic. So this one is brand new, and it literally feels like 100% plastic. This one, after breaking it in, it definitely feels better. What I'm gonna do is actually cut this thing open at the end to like officially find out. You guys, this is the Glove Gulag. We're trying to find out, where does Steelo belong? Single A, double A, triple A, majors. The majors is just like the best gloves out there, hands down, top dogs right here. AAA are gloves that are just missing one little thing to make it to the majors. SSKZ9 is a great example. AA here, really solid gloves as long as they are a good price. 44 is probably the best example out there. And then you have single A. Shoeless Joe's a good example. I'm typically just gonna say, hey guys, these gloves aren't very good. Don't buy them unless you truly love the brand, believe in the brand. You just have to know the glove isn't that good. The whole point of the Glove Gulag is to make it easier for you guys to understand how good a glove really is. The list is going to grow and grow. A $400 glove can end up in single A, a $200 glove can end up in the majors. When it comes to the glove's break-in, there was a ton of work to do here in the heel. So these laces are a little bit on the plasticky side. I'll talk about that in a second. So I had a ton of work to do because it's also a double-laced heel. With that being said, now that it's actually broken in, I'm starting to like the glove. I really did not like it when it was brand new like this one. Anyway, you guys, I broke it in traditional. It is just so deep. 2 in the pinky would not feel so great.
That was probably your furthest kick.
As I was saying, the glove is really deep, so I wore it traditional. I'm really glad I did that. 2 in the pinky would just not feel very good. This thing is, I can't describe how deep it is. I don't know if you can tell. Look at this thumb to pinky close on both gloves. Just look how much taller our Steelo is. This thing is crazy. And then with that, you guys, you can shape the glove however you want, really. Naturally, I want to have a flare and then that bowl-like effect because that's kind of how the glove was made. But if you really wanted to, you could actually straighten these fingers out more, curl the pinky in. I believe you can shape this however you want to. Just know ahead of time, it is super deep. All right, new segment, heat versus hop. We're gonna go ahead and take some from the pitching machine. How does it handle the heat? And then short hops to see the exact opposite. How does it handle the light and small stuff? Side note, you guys, I'm kind of worried about these laces. They're starting to pull and bulge just from a few that kind of hit that web. Oh, that was a nasty cutter. Holy cow. Let me get one more. I need to show you guys what it looks like when it hits like the upper part of the glove. It is pulling back so hard on this web. Obviously, that's because some of them just hit up there, but the leather itself isn't very durable and very sturdy. So when it does hit that, it is pulling back a ton. And then the web itself is starting to bulge out, as you can see. That's pretty natural just as you're playing catch. I'm trying to take these off my actual palm. They're not all hitting the web, but when they do, it pulls it back a ton. I'll try to stick a few so we can have like a good slow motion clip. This is 2 in the pinky. Dude, that feels like trash. 2 in the pinky is gross. Yeah, that is so incredibly deep. I don't recommend going 2 in the pinky with this thing because it's like pretty extreme how deep it is. There we go. I mean, that one like lit my pinky, sorry, not my pinky, my index finger up. Sure, it kind of hurt a little bit. You can feel it. When you catch it there, it feels great. Like it doesn't have a ton of flex or anything. Same thing right there. That one hit the web, but just let me show you. I mean, like, look at these laces here. How much they're pulling back from that last catch. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the Wilson and take a few. Our Wilson 1786 A2K. I'll take a little bit of both traditional and 2 in the pinky. Just, it feels, one catch, it's so much better. Gosh, yeah. Yeah, so even when I hit that web, there's still that slight pull. Here, let me try to get another one on the web. Yeah, so there's that slight pull, right? You can see that little bit of pull here, but it's not nearly the same as our ContourX. This glove just has like 10 times as much flex as the A2K. And that's not a good thing. This is B-roll, but side note, you guys, this is not the laces stretching. This is that leather. Look at that. Do you see how the leather's pulling apart over here? We talked about the leather being a little stretchy, and I think that's a good way to prove it. So after the heat test here, we can see our web is clearly being pulled back. There's just more wear and tear in the palm in general. And my biggest thing I learned was that this leather is pretty stretchy. Our A2K, it's just way more solid. It just handled everything fine. You would catch it and stick it. Whereas this, if it hits the web at all, it was slinging backwards like this. Right now, my biggest thing is like these laces are terrible. If they could change one thing, I would first say laces. It's actually really crazy how stiff these laces are when it's new. Watch me flick the laces on this broken in glove. They just kind of have a normal amount of like snap to it. But then when I flick the laces on this brand new one, these make a loud little snap because they are crazy. They are really plasticky to start, and then it kind of goes away as you break it in. I'm just not a fan. And we know that Steelo knows that the laces are a little cheap because they double laced both the X, which is normal, but also the inside part of the eye web here, which isn't as normal. But don't forget, as you use the glove more and more, these laces do feel a little bit more normal, but I'm very suspicious that with dirt, sweat, and just like weather, I think these will start to deteriorate really fast and kind of just fall apart and be junky. I mean, like 4 out of 10 for the laces. Not good. You guys, the hop test might seem like super basic and maybe even dumb, but this gives us really good insight to how a glove handles very light stuff. Can you feel the ball? Little things like that. This glove is super deep, so I think we're not gonna feel much of it, but it will be easy to pick it up. So let's just get to it. Yeah, I mean, the glove is like huge and massive, so the actual pickup feels great, and there's kind of minimal amount of padding between fingers and then the actual ball. So with that, I actually have a decent amount of feel. Not gonna lie, this is actually feeling great. Now, okay, here's our A2K. This thing has way more padding, plus I'm wearing it too in the pinky. So there's like 10 times less feel for the ball than our ContourX here. The ContourX there, honestly, that might be one of the biggest things going for it, is that it's really big, really deep, but still has feel. Because like I said, they designed it, they say they did it on purpose, where this is really thin. So in the heat test, that's really not so great because you have more feel and it kind of hurts. And then with that, because there's less in here, there's more stretch to the glove because it's not as durable. With that being said, there's a ton of feel for the ball. It feels really good on this short stuff. I need to make a comment on the comfort here. This glove brand new was one of the least comfortable gloves I've ever put on my hand. It felt plasticky and hard and like there was a horrible shape to it. With that being said, during the break-in, I started to like this thing more and more and more. The glove is actually pretty dang comfortable. It's adapting to my hand. You can kind of see those indents. And then this Dat Dude wingtip style is always more comfortable than your average glove. I personally am a fan, and I also like the way it looks. You have to remember, this glove is actually really light. That's a huge bonus. It's comfortable on the hand, and it's so deep that generally when you're playing catch and everything, it's pretty dang comfortable. So in the end, I'm gonna give this like an 8 out of 10 for comfort, and that's because the liner is just solid. It's nothing special. The pattern is really what makes it the most comfortable, and then it kind of helps that it's a really deep pattern. It just makes it that much more comfortable. 1786 to start. GBs, baby. Oh, goodness. So like all I'm thinking about right now is like how consistent the A2K is. Let's take some with our ContourX to kind of compare. Let's move on. Oh, I missed a transfer. I personally like the like one-handed fielding style a lot more than, you know, sitting in front of something like this. With that being said, I kind of really like how deep this thing is. But keep in mind, these are really casual ground balls. During the heat test, we kind of proved that the leather here couldn't really handle it. Once you're playing in any level higher than just like your average high school team, I think that this isn't really a great option. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good though. So I'm like surprisingly okay with the shape of the glove. because of how thin our palm is, I have so much feel, even while, wow, I got lucky. Even while it's this deep, I have so much feel for the ball. So the leather on here isn't actually that bad. What it is that the inserts, the actual insides of this glove are middle to low quality, and it's making it so that it's not very durable. All right, I know where this is going. Let's talk. When it comes to drip, I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. Let me explain. I'm not really obsessing over the design. I think it's really cool. I was thinking around 8 out of 10. Then I noticed this. The gray stuff on the back of the glove here is already starting to rub off just a little bit, and that concerns me a lot because I have not used this that much. I literally yanked the whole thing out here, you guys. Check this out. It looks really goofy. You typically just don't see this part of a baseball glove. You guys, I'm obviously wrong. This is not plastic. It's really not anything special. This stuff is pretty thin and hard, and I'm just guessing that's just what made me feel like it was plastic. For some reason, it feels plasticky when it's brand new. Once you break it in, it feels good. Just don't do this. Back to the Glove Gulag, you guys. I'm super confident about where the Steelo is gonna end up here, and it's because of two things. At the end of the day, the glove actually surprised me a little bit, and it's just best fit for somebody who likes a really deep pocket. But because of the laces and the actual insides of the glove, I have to put this in AA. You guys, AA is not bad at all, but when the glove costs 360 bucks, it's not a good look. The SSK Z9 is actually 270 bucks, but it's in AAA. Go check out the video to figure out why it's not just in the majors.